This part, my loves, is the biggest ball ache of all the bloody cleaning. As you can see, I'm quite used to doing this kind of action. Just imagining what my neighbours are hearing through the wall. Probably think we're having a wizard orgy in here, but that's only on a Tuesday normally. Now the tricky part. I'm going to have to suck the devil. I'm going to have to suck the devil off, my loves. Excuse me, my loves. Hello there, my love. I've just come from a hellish dimension. Hellish dimension, you would not believe what was there. Penises everywhere. But anyway, enough about my adventures. Today we're continuing the adventure that was begun 6 months ago to make a wonderful wine. A wine that hopefully doesn't taste like piss at all. So, before we begin, let us get the ingredients that we need for today's adventures. First of all, we will need the wine itself. We will also need, of course, vessels within which the wine will go into and hopefully be stored for a number of days whilst we're drinking it. So, let us get those out. Okay, 7 of the devils, that'll do. We'll also need a funnel. We'll need some sterilisation shit. Last but not least, we'll need a piece of tubing to siphon the shit out of the demijohn. Okay, right, there we are. Before we begin though, let's take a closer look at the wine itself. Okay, my lads, I don't know if you're able to see me. This is completely shambolic setup whereby I can't see the fucking screen, but there we are. I can't even see it when I'm the other way around either because the tripod's in the way. It's complete shambles. But anyway, here's the demijohn. 6 months it's been in this thing, although the fermentation itself was only the first couple of weeks. Ever since, it's just been resting and gradually clearing. As you can see, it's quite a fine urine yellow there, or an orange. At the bottom here we have what's known as the lees. It's all of the inactive trite at the bottom, mostly yeast. This yeast is not necessarily dead, but merely dormant. Now, the reason it stopped fermenting could be one of a couple of reasons. Perhaps it's run out of sugars, so it's got nothing left to munch on, or it's the alcohol content's reached a point at which the yeast is no longer happy, so it's gone into a dormant phase. It could start fermenting again, though. That's something to be mindful of later. What you can do is add a Camden tablet, as they're called, and that will kill all bacteria that's left within the brew. But I don't like doing that because I don't want to be ingesting that kind of shit. So you do run the risk of bottles popping in the future, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Okay, my loves, look, full disclosure here. I thought I would give these bottles a damn good washing before sterilising them, just because some of them did look a bit dodgy. I've used these bottles on numerous occasions, let's just say, and yeah, all manner of nasty things could have been growing in there in that intervening time. So wash them out first, sterilise the devils, and then we'll get some wine in there. This part, my loves, is the biggest ball ache of all the bloody cleaning. This fucker is going to take fucking ages to get the bubbles out of. Isn't it fun? What fun. Now, despite the fact that I've just cleaned those bottles, I've noticed there's a fair amount of shit still in them. I can't be bothered to clean them any better than that, but we're going to sterilise them now, so that should be enough, hopefully. Okay, right, this is the sterilisation phase, my loves. We've got some sterilisation tablets here. We don't really need 2 of the devils, but I just want to put them in for good measure. Put them in, they start fizzing. Isn't that lovely? And a wonderful aroma of bleach comes to the senses. Now what we need to do with this sterilisation liquor is to put everything in here that we want sterilised, basically. We want to sterilise every last little fucking thing, including that old tube. Where's the other tube? There's another tube there. So we have to sterilise everything quite thoroughly, and then we're going to douse it all with pre-boiled water just to get rid of the nasty bleach crap, because we don't want to be drinking that, my loves. No. Hello, my lads. Look, I'm back. I've got the sterilisation liquor. We're going to put a little measure into each of the bottles. Not too much. Just enough to give it a little coating inside. Oh, look at that. I've almost run out, my lads. But luckily, I've got lots more. Just need a little bit more. As you can see, the lion's share of the work is in cleaning and sterilisation. It's a pain in the arse. Of course, you can do it in a more slapdash fashion, but your wine will taste like shit. Now, I'm not sure how much of me is in shot here because I can't be asked to go and have a look at the camera. Wizards do not like checking shit out too much, especially when making videos, but there we are. Right, so we've got the sterilisation liquor in here. Now what I'd like to do is give it a damn good thrashing like this. As you can see, I'm quite used to doing this kind of action. Wizards are very good at beating off their wands, shall we say. Now, do you want to watch me beat off every single one of these bottles, my love? I might speed this bit up for you. No, don't drink it. Don't drink it. If you're, advanced techniques, you could do a double beating off if you can. It's going everywhere. It's a fucking nightmare. Look at this big devil. I'm gonna have a job and a half beating this fellow off. Ooh. Just imagining what my neighbours are hearing through the wall. Probably think we're having a wizard orgy in here, but that's only on a Tuesday normally. Oh, look at this big devil. Okay, there's quite enough of that nonsense. Next thing to do is to cleanse these bottles of their toxic content with some nice boiled water. I'll spare you the misery of watching that. Okay, hello there again, my lads. I'm afraid I've had to use a bit of a jaunty angle to get this in shot, just because we're going to be doing the siphoning now. Got our bottles here nicely cleaned and sterilised. What fun that was, I can tell you. Okay, so this demijohn has been sitting in the other room for 6 months. It looks quite shitty up here, but that's where it overflowed at the beginning, when it over-fermented. Don't worry about that. As long as your air trap here is still full of water, everything in here will be perfectly fine. If this runs dry, my loves, put this liquor down the toilet because you don't want to be drinking it. It will have some kind of bacterial infection and you may possibly die drinking it. Who knows? Anyway, let's get this cork off. There we are, first time in 6 months. Let's take the first whiff of the brew. That doesn't smell half bad, my love. It smells okay, despite the fact that it looks like piss. Right, let's get my various accoutrements. Look, I put that there. See, I put the sterilizer, I put it there. That will be infected now, so you've got to be careful where you put things. I've also forgotten a little doodad that I need. forgot about this very important little doodad here. We need to sterilise this. Is that sterilised? I don't know. That'll do. Right, so take this bit and stick it on the doodad. Now, ideally you would flush this through with boiling water as well, which I'm gonna have to fucking do now, aren't I? But there you go. Oh yeah, bastard. Okay, right, that bit's been done. This is such a wonderful video this will be, my love. Okay, now we have to attach the other bit. Right, I need to this becomes ridiculous after a while, my loves, because now we have to keep that sterile. I'm probably doing this slightly more in more depth than needed. Anyway, let's consider this sterile. And I'm not going to bother flushing it through this time because I can't be asked. Anyway, this goes in here. So now we have a wand with a length of tubing on the other end. This is going to go up my bum now. No, it's not, my loves. It's going in here. So, right, we have to be very careful here. Okay, there's another little doodad here. We don't have to sterilise this. This just sits here on the side. I can get the fucker in with my terrible hand. There we are. That sits there. Now we put this in here. We can't get the fucker in now. Wait a minute. Put this on first, my loves. Yeah, like that. Else you won't be able to get the devil in there. So we have to be very gingerly about how we do this. Okay, so right. Pop that on there. Right, now we have to very slowly lower this into the brew till it touches the bottom. Ideally, don't fucking move it like I've just done, because that will disturb the sediment. You don't want to be sucking that into your bottle. Right, the next thing to do, of course, is to purge whatever's in the tube already. Let it go on the floor. That's the best place for it. Now the tricky part. I'm going to have to suck the devil. I'm going to have to suck the devil off, my loves. Right, here we go. Now, this is going to employ hydraulics. So we need to suck. As long as we're below the level of the top of the reservoir of liquid, we should be all right. You'll see what I mean. Okay, that's gone wrong. In a second. Oh dear. This isn't going well at all. Excuse me, my house. Right, I got my first taste of it then, it wasn't pleasant. This doesn't bode well. Okay, right, we've got the first bottle done. Right, next one coming on. Put your thumb over the end of it, my loves, and it will stop it going all over the place. There we are. Now another way we can stop the flow is to just slowly bring it up. And it will slow down. Look at that. We'll bring it down and it will start going again. Like great guns. There we are. It's wonderful amber liquid, which may or may not be lethal. Judging by the taste, I think it's probably pretty horrible stuff, but don't let that worry you. In we go. Next load. Yeah, it's quite an unpleasant taste that was, but I'm hoping that's just because my palate isn't quite ready for it yet, my loves. Well, yeah, I didn't think this through. This is quite hard to do. Solo wizarding, if you will. If possible, get help from a fellow wizard or a witch if there's one handy. In you go. Isn't science wonderful? Now, it's something to do with the force of gravity on the larger body of water. As long as you're below the source, it will keep flowing until it's completely empty. Bring it up above the base of that and it will slow right down. If you go above it, it will stop altogether. There we are, there's that one in. But the trouble is, if you go too far up, you'll create what us wizards like to call a complete fucking shambles. So you'll have to start sucking on it again. I mean, as a wizard, I am pretty good at sucking, but you may not be used to it, my loves. Some of you will, some of you won't. I don't even know if I'm in shock. There's such a fucking shambolic setup I've got. Wizards hate filming stuff. Now, the aroma coming off this is heady, to say the least. It's not quite piss, but it's getting there. Ugh, fuck. Now, occasionally the bottles will try to attack you. This bottle here is a standard wine bottle size. As you can tell, the other bottles here are diminutive copies of the full length. Now, the other reason I use these ones with a clasp on the top is because they are pressure treated, my loves. If there's any yeast still suspended in the liquid, if it starts fermenting in the bottle, it won't blow the bottle up. But when you open the bottle, it may explode in your face. Something that's not really very pleasant, is it, my loves? Again, some people like it exploding in your face, some don't. There's another one done. I've got this great big fella. Now, I've got a gallon of wine here that I've made. Chances are we're not going to drink it all, because it tastes vile. But you never know, it might be alright, it might be alright. We're getting down to the bottom now. What you don't want to do is suck up the very bottom of it, because that will just... Oh, there we go. That's the end of it. Okay, so we only had a little bit at the end. Okay, that'll do, that'll do. Right, let's get all these caps on. I don't know, look, I used the biggest one and I haven't even filled it up. Okay, there's that one. That one is too full. Let's put that in, let's put a little bit in there. Cross-pollination. Some of these are, this one, you don't want to fill, look at it, I've filled it right to the very top, that's no good. Maybe that's better. Give it some room to breathe, my loves. This one here can fuck off as well, and you go. That'll do. Right, let's get all the caps on. And there we have it. What I'll do is, before I'm going to take a proper drink, once I've chilled it down nicely, I'm going to show you all the shit that's in the bottom of this demijohn. It's pretty disgusting. Okay, right, there we are. There's all our lovely wine there. It doesn't look like piss at all, and I'm sure it's going to taste wonderful. Down here you can see I've made a bit of a mess, but look at the bottom here. Let's see if we can disturb it a little. Yes, oh, you can't see that. Look at that. It looks like sand, perhaps. If we give this a wiggle. Yeah, basically it's just a load of old gunk in the bottom there. Now, some of you may want to spread that on some toast and eat it with your supper. I wouldn't advise it, my loves.
It's been a long day. That wine making session, or the decanting of the wine, should I say, was a long, drawn-out, tawdry affair. But it was worth its weight in gold. Full disclosure, I've already drunk a bottle of the wine. Me and my wife, that is. So I've had half a bottle already, but I need to show you how good this stuff is. So anyway, I've got a bottle here. It's ready chilled. Look at the colour of that. Can you believe it? It doesn't look like piss at all. I know the light shining through it, but it's an amber glory. I think that's what I would call it if it were something I would be selling. Anyway, Here we are. It's open, my lads. Right, I'll do the full. Let's do the full thing. I'll smell it first. Okay, so initially on the nose we've got peas. So the Mange 2 is still coming through 6 months later, and there's a sweetness to it. I know when I had my first mouthful of it, when I was siphoning it, it seemed unpleasant. But once you get beyond that first glass, after that, it's a taste explosion. Okay, let's pour a little bit here. That'll do. Let's not go crazy. Okay, so the next thing to do is to look at how it swells. So as you can see, perhaps it's coating the glass slightly. It's got some substance to it. It's got some body to it. It's formidable stuff, my loves. I tell you, I don't know. It's powerful. That's all I'm going to say. I have no idea what the alcohol content is because I didn't take a hydrometer reading at the beginning. I'd hazard a guess at it's got to be around 14%. It's got to be because it bites. But anyway, let's tally ho and have a little drinky. It's got to burn. It's gotta fucking burn. I mean, I don't think it can be above 14%. I'm not wearing my glasses because I can barely see anyway, so I thought I'd take them off. I could be blind by the morning, but it can't be above 14. I mean, the yeast wouldn't allow that. I'm pretty sure of that. I used a white wine yeast. There's no way it would go beyond that, surely not. I know I used quite a bizarre concoction of sugars in the beverage at the beginning, if I remember back. But it's got a burn to it. I mean, it's like a spirit almost. And it's got quite a complex flavour. You don't actually taste the pea as much because of the fire that's going on. But there's lots of different flavours going on. I can't place them. They're mysterious alien flavours. Hopefully not some kind of bacterial infection that's intruded upon the brew. I don't think so, because I think when a wine goes bad, it smells and tastes of vinegar. So it's not that. This is just powerful stuff. It could be the tea bags as well, of course. Because I put some tea bags in, so there's going to be a certain amount of caffeine in there. Perhaps it's an unholy concoction, an unholy amalgamation of caffeine and alcohol that's responsible for this abomination. But I tell you what, it's powerful, very powerful. I mean, we've had half a bottle of this between us, so half a bottle each. I mean, this is quite a small bottle, so I don't know. I mean, a large glass of wine it would otherwise be, I suppose. But it's knocked us off our tits, my loves. It's very, very powerful. But anyway, look, strange things are going on. It's perhaps creating a portal. You may never see me again. It might transport us somewhere else. But anyway, there we are. I would say that's a positive conclusion to today's endeavours and the work that's gone into this over the past 6 months. Well worth it. I only wish I'd made more of it. Yeah, impotent stuff. Anyway, thank you very much for watching if you have. And we'll try and make another wine one day. How about that? See how it goes. But Mange 2, if you follow that recipe to the letter that I set down, which I largely made up, let's be fair, it will knock your fucking socks off. Excuse me. Anyway, let's leave it there. Now, one other thing I was going to say was that when we first started drinking, it was so burny that we were worried that it needed a bit of sugar. So I put a sugar cube in the bottle, and that definitely leveled it all out. But now that I'm tasting the true source again, right from the original brew, It doesn't need the sugar. It just doesn't need it. It's got something about it. Something, I don't know, ethereal, something magisterial, something potentially very dangerous. But anyway, cheers my loves, and see you next time.
Hello, my loves. It's the next morning. The hangover is exquisite. Golden Glory does not disappoint. Drank a little too much of it, truth be told. It gave me some really interesting dreams and a fucking massive headache. Anyway, thank you, my loves, for watching this video. But if you make Golden Glory whole, or Golden Hammer as I'm calling it now, take it easy. Cheerio, my loves.